Hello, this is Dylan Miller on Daily Dose of Dylan, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, or iHeartRadio. This is Dylan Miller on Daily Dose of Dylan. Alright, we got some good stuff today. We actually have a double podcast. Again, because I missed yesterday. And obviously I missed all of last week, just because really I was busy. So, I just decided to take the week off. Don't worry, I did not pull a Kyrie. I did not just take a sabbatical mid-season. But I'm going to do a double today. And I'm going to start off with the Suns taking a 1-0 lead. And now, here's why I'm rooting for the Suns to win it all this year. Right now. I like when teams develop talent through the draft and all that. Like, they develop players. Like, they earn it themselves. Like, the owners. Like, they earn it. And I mean, you can add players, because that's what it is now. You know, that's how it goes. You know, and I mean, obviously you can say that LeBron kind of started all this, you know, with him going to Miami. You know, and that was his way of changing the NBA. You know, him and MJ. And I think you could argue Steph Curry is more influential than both of those guys. He completely changed the landscape. You know, Jordan obviously made the NBA cool, kind of in that sense. And LeBron made it, and I mean, these guys are really influential. But, you know, you can add players. Like I said, that's just where the league's going. You add players to win, but I'm still going to love the old school teams where you develop talent through the draft. You know, I like when everyone has a defined role, and, you know, because, like, look at the Nets right now. Like, this is why I don't really like the Nets a lot. The way they put that team together was I didn't really like that too much, but, I mean, what I don't like about the Nets is it doesn't seem like everyone knows their role. You know, you gotta know your role, in my opinion. You know, like, is Kyrie a shooting guard? Is he a point guard? Is Harden the shooting guard? You know, because Harden's a pure shooting guard. A shooting guard, you know? It's, like, confusing. Like, what is a point guard? Anymore. Like, I think point forwards are more popular than point guards right now. But, you know, Harden was switched to the, point guard, and changed his, you know, role. And I've always thought Kyrie was more of a shooting guard anyway. You know, because he doesn't pass. He's not a point guard. You know, but it doesn't seem like everyone knows their role on that team. The Suns, on the other hand, CP3 is the purest point guard in the league left right now. He's the purest point guard. You know, he's pass first. That's what the point guard was defined as at first, you know? It was, it's a pass first guy. You know, the shooting guard's the guy who handles all the scoring. CP3 handles all the passing. You know, he's the pass first guy who can score when he has to. And then you have Devin Booker, who is a pure shooting guard, who scores. He can score from 3 and in the middle. You know, he can score anywhere. That's what a shooting guard is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a shooting guard. And then here's what I love about them too. A lot of bigs now, like AD and even Giannis sometimes, they're trying to shoot threes. And that's not what a big used to be. It used to be, you know, just throw it to them down low. They can get an easy basket down low. Not, like, shooting threes. And that's fine. You can do that. But, like, you know, Giannis and AD, you know, shouldn't be pulling for threes. You know, that's not who they are. They're big men. And, you know, that's what I like about DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre Ayton seems like he wants to be a big man. So, like, I just like when everyone has a defined role. And, like, not only throughout the entire game, like, in the clutch. Like, the Bulls in the 90s. Like, every star player, like, the bench... the bench players don't need to know their role because, I mean, they're not as significant. But, like, the star players, like, Booker knows his role. Booker knows he's supposed to be a shooting guard, the scorer. And CP3 knows he's supposed to be the point guard, the guy who facilitates the game. And DeAndre Ayton knows he's supposed to be a center. And, like, with the Bulls in the 90s, Pippen knew he was kind of a point forward, brought the ball up. And sometimes, like in the 91 finals, he'd have to guard the best player. He guarded Magic. But he also knew that MJ would take the last shot. He knew his role, Scottie Pippen. He knew he was the Robin to his Batman. He was well aware of that. And I don't think it's a coincidence. I mean, I think, honestly, a team with defined roles, with roles that are, defined, like, they have better chemistry. They know where, really, it's what I've been saying this entire time, they know the roles. And Sixers and Clippers don't seem to know it that well. And, really where the problem is, with the Sixers and Clippers, is the Suns played a lot of games together. I think they played every game together. Obviously not with the full lineup, but I mean, the star players, Booker, CP3, and Ayton, they play almost every game together. They do not load manage. Unless they are injured, they play every game together. And, the Sixers and Clippers, they load manage. And that's why the Clippers can't do it in the clutch too well. That's why they have the second least amount of points in the clutch. It's because they don't play a lot together. And their chemistry is a little off. Alright. So the Sixers over the weekend lost to the Hawks in Game 7. And holy crap, is Ben Simmons a punching bag. But guess what? That's what he should be. He's a problem. He can't shoot. He doesn't know his role. He doesn't take any shots. That's another problem. It's not only that he can't shoot at all, he's not even confident in his shot. Like Giannis, even though he shouldn't be shooting at all, at least he's a little confident. It's and really what his problem is, Ben Simmons, is that he's his own worst enemy. Because he's not a good shooter, which is already a problem. But he's not really a worker. That's been clarified over the week that he's not a worker. So that's another problem there. It's... I mean, you gotta get in the gym and start working. I mean, LeBron, first of all, and it wasn't as important as it is now back then to have a jumper. But after the 2007 finals, LeBron worked on that jumper. He got better. He shot 40% from 3 in 2013. He really developed it. And it wasn't that important in the 2000s as it is now. So LeBron had to develop it even more than he already did. Now it's like a requirement. Ben Simmons has to get in the gym and start working, I think, on his jumper. Alright, so, KD's performance yesterday was unfortunately not enough against the Bucks here. Now, I feel that I really wish I stuck with my original pick. I think I've only gotten 3 series wrong this whole time, because I got the Sixers wrong, Sixers-Hawks, Knicks-Hawks wrong, Suns-Lakers wrong. No, that's what I got wrong so far. I really wish I didn't switch on my prediction. I really wish I didn't switch on my predictions last second, because I should have stuck to it, The Nets, they did have a chemistry problem. They only played 7 or 8 games together. Kyrie's erratic, and KD was playing way too many minutes. They were putting him through too much. That was a lot for KD to handle there. 53 minutes. He played 2 complete games. I have new respect for him right now for that. That's over 50 minutes of... And I'm not exactly KD's fan. A KD fan here. I think you guys know that. I mean, I've always known he's a great scorer, but I respect him after this weekend, But, I realized I was partially right at the beginning when the Harden trade happened. Because I was definitely wrong on the whole, their chemistry is going to be terrible thing and they're not going to win a lot because they're going to be arguing over who gets the last shot. I did not know that they would make Harden the point guard. I didn't know that was going to happen. So I was wrong about that. But where I was right was I said the depth isn't going to be as good as it was. Because the Nets actually had pretty good depth before the Harden trade. And that's what a lot of people liked about them. Because not only did they have KD and Kyrie, they had good depth. But their bench was a problem. They didn't attempt a single shot in Game 7. And that just makes it, the ask on KD even bigger. You're asking way too much of KD now, because the bench is going to attempt a single shot, and KD is not going to... And you're asking KD to play 53 minutes. And he did a great job during that, but there's no way that was easy for him. But that bench... The bench was definitely a problem there. See, if they kept their guys... I'm still unsure if the trade was really smart. I don't know. Because really... It's really confusing because, if they were a first-round exit, it'd be okay. Or actually, even if they lost this round with a fully healthy team, we'd be yeah, that was a bad trade. But now I'm confused. But I'm leaning more towards the trade was a win for them because Harden did get injured and they were up 2-0 when they had the 3 guys in. So, they probably could have beaten the Bucks had it not been for the injuries. So I'm not going to say that it was a bad trade yet, but that bench is a problem. Not a single shot attempt in Game 7. Alright. Let's get some music going here. Alright, wait a second, it's coming up. Damn it, come on. Alright, so this is not going to work. So I'm just going to do, Alright, so the Hawks are back in the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time since 2015, where they obviously got swept by LeBron and the Cavs. Now, this is obviously the surprise team of the playoffs.